Let me share my screen. How to read and write. First, I'll start with how to read the data from the Excel document, and then we'll see how to write it. Okay. As I mentioned yesterday, there are two formats of documents. One is XLS format and second one is XLSX format. XLS format is specific to the older version and XLSX is the newer version. So we have .jxl library when XLS format is available, but Apache POI library came into the picture when we have XLSX. That means Apache POI supports both XLS document and XLSX document. So both formats it is going to support. So for that, yesterday we have seen how to configure that Apache POI to a project. So we configured that Apache POI to the sample Selenium project, and now we will see how to design how to um how to read the data from the Excel document by using some sample Selenium program. So I cannot say it's pure Selenium program, but the word and the way that we are going to design will be in the format of Selenium. Okay. So as the name itself is indicating that reading the data from the Excel document. Okay. Reading the data from Excel document. Reading the data from Excel document is what are the prerequisites for us. So what are all the needs that we need to have that are required in order to read the Excel document. Excel document with required data to read one thing. And first you place this document. You need to place this document in your folder, so any of your local folder, and then it can be used to read the data by using programmatic format. And once you have that Excel document in place in any of the folder, so there are few things which are mandatory in the programmatic level in order to read the data in that particular Excel document. Okay, first let's see. I'm just navigating to the folder where I want to store this. I'm going to keep our Excel document here in Selenium libraries, or I can keep it here. Okay. Yes. One second, let me reshare. I hope it's visible now. Okay. Fine. Let me take this one only. Oh, it is closed. Okay, let me take this document only. Only numbers are available. Okay, this is not required. Here I'm going to create one Excel document. I'm just giving the name as test data. So I don't know which format it is, right? So XLSA, XLSX format, we don't know, right? So if you want to see that, you can right click on this. You can go to properties and you can see whether it is XLS or XLSX. XLSX format. This is a new version. So if you want to convert this document to XLS, you can convert it after opening this sheet. Okay. Save as. Somehow you need to select the older version here. So you can see 97 to 97 to 2023, 2003 template. If you select this one, the data, the format will be converted to XLS format. This one. You can see the properties now. See, right? So you can see the difference here. 97 to 2003 worksheet. This is XLS. Microsoft Excel worksheet. This is Excel document, XLSX document. So in this document, I'm just giving random data, registration ID, registration name, uh, contact, address, email, comments. I'm just keeping 6 columns here. Okay, this is the contact. I'm just giving random email IDs, guys. I'm just preparing this document. Okay, this is the data I have. This is the data I have. So now I want to read the data from this document. It might be a specific cell or it might be the complete data. First, we will discuss about the specific cell data. Either it might be fifth cell or fifth row or 10th cell or 10th row. But I hope you remember this point. Index number always starts with 0. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this, it is going to get started. Index number always starts with 0 from the Excel document or through programmatic point of view whenever you are reading the data. Okay, this is the Excel document I have. I'm going to save this document, and this document is being saved in this folder. Okay, this is the document I have. Okay, I'm going to close this document now. Okay, I'm just copying this path. Test data.xlsx. This is the path required for us. So let's go to the program now. Okay, I'm going to create one package here. Okay, I'm just giving it as read example. Okay. Now, the initial step that I'm going to take care here is first I'm going to give the path of the document. So because I don't have any browser to open here, I'm not going to pass URL. I'm not doing anything in the application point of view. I'm just reading the data from the Excel document. After this step, you need to know how the data can be passed from the Excel document to the browser. That's a different story. You need to use the same format again to read the data from the Excel document again. Okay, but for now, this program is straightforward program to read the data from the Excel document. No browser involved, no URL, nothing. I'm not saying in any application point of view. I'm saying in the Excel point of view. So for that, I'm just using file is equals to new file of the path that we are going to have. Okay, so once we provide the path, what happened to this path? Okay, first I created this object with the name called file. Okay, so in order to open the Excel document, because this is an object where I'm creating, and this file can be used for the input output operations, and this is the path where we are going to specify. In the initial step only, it will go to this path and it will try to open this testdata.xlsx file. Right, once it is trying to open the testdata.xlsx file, we need to give that input data, right, to the program in order to read it. So for that, we are going to use file input stream in order to input the data. Right, I'm creating another object, file input stream, input data is equals to new file input stream of, from where I need to get the data, from this file. For this file, I already have an object. I already have an object name. So that's the reason I'm just giving that object name here. Okay, for this file input stream, I need to import that. Done. Data has been inputted. I lowercase here we have. Done. So data, first Excel sheet has been opened in the first step, and in the second step, this object is related to input the data from the Excel document. It can be used to read the data from the Excel document. This is just to open the Excel document, and this is can be used to read the data from the Excel document. Now, simply opening the Excel document is not enough to the program, because if you are working with an Excel document, there are 4 layers. There are 4 terms which are frequently comes into the picture. One is workbook. Second one is sheet. Third one is row. Fourth one is column. These are the frequently used terms that we are going to have in the real time, right? Workbook, sheet, row, column. Workbook, sheet, row, and column. So what is this workbook? What is this row? What is this sheet? And what is this column? So in the Excel document, when you create the Excel document, for example, let me open the same document. Okay. Or where is the data? Where is the data? Is there by mistake data saved in other document? Yeah, let me remove from, let me copy from here. And we'll paste it here. Okay, we got the data now. I'm going to close this. Okay, we have this data. Now, workbook is nothing but by default, when you open this whole Excel sheet, what you are seeing, whole Excel document, what you are seeing on the screen is nothing but workbook, is nothing but workbook. And every workbook will have by default 3 sheets: sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. This is a sheet. This is a sheet, and this is a row. Whatever the data that you are seeing, these are nothing but rows, horizontal ones, and vertical ones are nothing but columns. There are 4 terms which are involved even at the programmatic level when you are designing a program, how to read the data from the Excel document. So this is a simple format of document, but in real time you'll have more and more data in the Excel document, and you have to read the data based on the row and column, based on the rows and columns that we are going to have. Now, going back to the program. Okay, read this example. Yeah, read example. So initially we opened the file, and in the second step we are trying to read the data from the Excel document, but we didn't specify from which workbook we have to open, and from which sheet uh, we want to read the data, and from which row we want to read the data, right? So this is a sequence order where we need to specify workbook, sheet, row, if required column, or else we can call it as a cell. We can call it as a cell. First we'll write about workbook. There are 2 things where you need to remember when we are talking about workbook. When we are talking about workbook, here XLS format will be there, XLSX format will be there. There are few keywords which are specifically designed for each and every format. XLS format, there are separate keywords, and XLSX format, there are separate keywords. So if we are going to consider XLS format, to read the workbook, the format that the keyword that we are going to use is HSSF workbook. And then after this, HSSF sheet. And then HSSF row, and then HSSF cell, we can call it as column or cell, because this is a if you can see this, if I want to read the data 100003, this is a conflict between, this is a overlap of A column and fourth row. That means it's a A4. The name of this particular cell is A4. Like that we can consider in order to read the data. So in programmatic level also we have these keywords which can be used for XLS format. For XLSX format, .XLSX format, the keywords that we are going to use is, I'm going to copy the same thing for time being. And instead of H, we will have X. We are using X. So as we are using XLSX document, the latest format, so that's the reason we have to use this one. We have to use this one. Go to program. Now start interacting with the workbook now. Workbook. XSSF workbook. I'm just giving the name called WB, new XSSF workbook of input data. Input data. Now sheet. XSSF sheet, and then for this sheet is equals to where this sheet how we can say, okay, where this sheet has been included inside the workbook, right? Where this shape so usually when we open the workbook, we will have 3 sheets. That means first workbook we have to open, from workbook we have to consider the sheet, from sheet we have to consider the row, from row we have to consider the cell. Likewise, first we open the workbook and then we are interacting with the sheet. In order to interact with the sheet, we need to call it from the workbook. Workbook dot get sheet. Workbook dot get sheet. You need to give the sheet name. I have entered the data in sheet 1 only. I'm going to give the same name. Once you give the sheet and then a row, XSSF row is equal row is equals to new sheet dot new sheet dot get row of 1. I'm just reading first row and then cell XSSF cell is equals to row dot get cell of. So which cell value I want to read? I can say number 5. So 5th cell value I am going to read. Now if I want to print that, I have to store that value into the variable, right? So I'm going to give string cell value is equals to cell dot get string cell value. Get string cell value. It has to get the value. Once it gets the value, I'm going to print that in the output. the cell value is cell value. XSSF sheet. What happened to this? This is not required. Yeah. So row is equals to, I'm executing this program. Let's see what will be the output. So usually as per this code, what I can say is first row, fifth cell value will come into the output. What is that first row? What is the first row in this document, guys? What is first row in this document?
Registration ID,
Smith
contact
1001.
What is first row in this document?
Second line, sir. 1001 Smith.
Someone said first line. What is that? Who is that?
Yes, sir. Registration ID, registration name, contact address, comment.
Then what is the index number 0 then?
Registration ID,
What is first row?
registration ID, registration name, contact address, email, comments.
How come that is possible? If index number starts with 0, then first this is the one which is related to that index number, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Which one? This one it will print. Why? We have given first row fifth cell value, right? What is fifth cell value?
Test comments.
Comment
Fir-
one.
First row means index of 1. That means index of 1 is this one. This is index of 0. This is index of 1. Right? Fifth cell again. So what is the fifth cell? Why this instead of this one? Why this is displaying? Why this is displaying instead of this one? Instead of email, why we are seeing comments in the output?
Serial number takes index value 0.
What is that? Serial number?
Index value 0, sir.
Which one? Which is having index
In
value 0?
column, in column serial number index value 0, register ID 1, that's where test comment comes 5.
Register ID is 1. If
Oh,
register ID
0,
is 1,
0.
this is
Okay.
2, this is 3, 4, 5, right?
Yes, sir. Register ID 0, index value.
Okay. Fine. I'll do one thing. I'll give you 5 minutes of time. I'm maximizing this program. Okay. So observe this program. What are the alternative ways that we can design, and what are the alternative ways that we have in order to design this program? Okay. And let me know what are your thoughts on designing how to read the data from the Excel document. Or else I'll give you one question, direct question. Here we are reading only 5th cell in the Excel document, right? I want to read the complete data from the Excel document, complete data, not only 5th cell, not only 5th cell. I want to read this complete data. How to read the complete data from the Excel document by using this program. I'll give you 5 minutes of time. I'll be on mute. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I want you to resolve this program. Done? Anyone? Anyone?
X.
Yes. Anyone want to tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ring registration ID.
Okay, you can continue. I'm not going to write anything on the screen. You can just let me know the logic. I will guide you about that.
Can you open the Excel screen?
Okay. I have opened.
Yes.
I think your voice is breaking a little
Yes.
bit.
Ring registration ID equals to Excel units dot get cell path, sir. And we have to
Okay.
give the file, and in sheet 1, first row, first column, for that I comma 0 for the index 0 value. For index 1, I comma 2, I comma 3, like this. How to
Okay.
take overall.
That means we need to give the complete rows and columns in the program.
Yes, sir, to read all those.
Okay. If you have 1000 rows in a Excel document,
For that, we have to give first cell name and last cell name. Like
okay. Can you
F,
please repeat the last
F,
point?
F comma. For that, we have to give sir,
No, what we have to give.
cell comma row.
That's what my question. What makes you the difference between 10 rows and the 1000 rows if you are going to read the data? Right? For 10 rows, you're telling that we can give separate row and column numbers in order to read the data. If we have 1000 rows, you're saying row path value and cell path value to read the data. What makes you to create the difference? Because one row is one row, 10 rows is 10 rows, 1000 rows is 1000 rows. Anyways, we are reading the complete data. We are not reading specific cell, right?
Yes, sir.
So why you are providing cell number and row number when you are reading only less data, and why you are giving cell path value and row path value when you are reading complete data? So what makes you that difference?
It takes some time, sir, to analyze me and tell.
That's what assignments are really useful for you, right?
We use last row, last column like that.
I think
What,
F comma 11 can be used for the sheet, for particular sheet.
what is that? What is that? 11?
11 comma F.
11 comma
Rows
F.
11 rows
Oh,
and F comma.
that's what if it is 1000 rows, if you are going to specific some if you are going to specify some number, what is the use of reading the data? 11 comma F means it will read this data only. 11F, F11. I want to read the complete data. That's what, right?
Sir, we use last row, last columns.
Last row, last column, only this data will display.
Get last row num, get
Mhm.
last column, sir.
Get last row num, get last column. Okay, what is the logic here? I understand your point, but what is the logic that we can provide? Whatever you said is right, but if we want to write the logic with those two things, what is the exact logic that we can make use of it?
We use for loop, sir.
Okay, only for loop.
By using for loop, we can define, sir, last row and last column.
That's what my question. Only for loop we are going to use, or is there any other thing that we can use in our program?
I think only for loop, sir.
Why? Why you think only for loop?
It will go on execution.
What is that? It will go on.
Execution until the condition gets true.
That's what you guys are saying. Row number and column number. Two things you are saying, but you are saying only one for loop. How it can be possible to read row number and cell number in single for loop? What is that for loop name that we can use? It will be nested for loop, guys, because you are reading row number and cell number. Right or wrong? What is nested for loop?
Loop inside the loop.
Loop inside
Okay.
another loop, right? Initially, you are going to read first row count, how many rows are available in the sheet, how many rows are available in the document, and once you read the number of rows in that particular document, you are going to calculate the cell count. Based on the cell count, you are going to print the data. Right or wrong? Up to here, whatever the program that I have copied, up to here it is same. There is no difference in this program. From here, it will make some difference while reading the data. Let's see how we are going to read the data, complete data. Okay, int, as you mentioned, row count. So I'm using the same terms. I'm not differentiating because you already observed some little bit. So I'm using the same thing. So sheet dot get last row number, and then sheet dot get first row number. So these get last row number and get first row number, these are already from the Excel library. So these are predefined ones. I'm not creating any new things here. I'm using for loop for int I is equals to 0, I less than or equals to row count, I less than or equals to row count, I plus plus. Inside this loop, I'm going to start with cell count. Int cell count is equals to sheet dot get row. We are going to read the first row now. We are going to starting from first row because we are outputting the data, or else instead of that you can give I because it starts from 0. Okay, initialization row dot get last cell number. Last cell number. It will read the last cell number. So whatever it has read, we need to print so that we'll have some clarity. sys out row number. I'm just printing row number plus I plus whatever the value that it is going to get. Whatever the data that it is going to get. Data input is, it is going to print whatever the data that it is going to have. Let's see how it can. And then inside this loop, I'm going to create another one. For int j is equals to 0, j less than or equals to, or else j less than cell count, and then j plus plus. Once it captures, we will print the output. In this, oh, 1 second. Sheet dot get row of I. It will read that data, and then get cell of j dot get string cell value. So it will get the string cell value, and after that it has to print, right? If you want to print every data with comma separated, you can give like this. Otherwise, you no need to give this comma. Okay, it has to print line by line, no? So we have to give this out println, or else already you have given println. It's not required maybe, but if you want to make it as line by line, print here and give println here. That will print the data. Control Shift F. I'm saving this program, executing this. You can see the output. What happened to this thread main? Illegal state exception, cannot get string value from the numeric cell. Which cell value from the numeric cell? I think we have to convert all the data into text format now. 1 second. Format cells. This is a number, no? Registration ID and contact number. That's the reason it is saying cannot. Okay. So saving this one, executing the same program again. What happened? I have given sheet, workbook, file input data, file input stream, file. Okay. And then row count starts with int in cell count. This is proper. Oh, okay. Here we are giving row count. This is fine, and here we are passing the same row number. Cell number, row number. Where is the difference? Should we have written- Okay, let's try removing these two columns. I'll try. Maybe it is not considering the data, I guess. Okay, maybe that data, whatever the data that we are passing, it is having some issue. It is considering that as a number. If you can see this row number 0, data input is, this is the one, row number 1, 2, 3, like that it is going to display. Maybe if you can have the proper data in the Excel sheet, that will read everything. Maybe the conversion of that data into text might be a different thing. So that's the reason we are having an issue with the data, not with the program. Right? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, at least can you try how to write the data from the Excel document? I think can you try how to write the data from the Excel document?
Yeah, sir, I will try.
Yes.
Can you try how to write the data from the Excel document?
Yeah, sir.
Only Arun can try? Fine. Arun, maybe tomorrow if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next one will be at the programmatic level, whatever we have discussed so far, like how to read the data from the Excel document, and next one will be how to write the data from the Excel document. Tomorrow, the same format, the same programmatic format, how can we make use to read the data or to write the data in the application point of view? Let's say if I'm having this application, right? This is the application we are using. Okay, some register page. Okay, so I want to enter some data here in the first name field and in the last name field. Instead of entering the data manually, I want to send the data from the Excel document. How can we send the data from the Excel document? Instead of Excel document, we have other format as well, from XML document. How can we send the data from the XML document? these are the important things, how to read and write the data in the application point of view. So we have seen just a plain Excel document where we are going to read the data from one cell, and where we are going to read the data from all the sheet, and we are going to print it in the output. But that's a regular one, how to read the data and how to write the data from the Excel document. But if you want to deal with the application, so I do not want to enter first name and last name manually, or else I do not want to hard code the data, right? In the program, I do not want to keep the data, because if I want to do 1,000 registrations, I cannot give the same name, right? Same first name and last name every time. I need to change the information. If I want to change the information, I cannot enter it manually. I have to send it through Excel document or some other source I have to send. How to send or how to enter the data from the Excel document into the application while executing a program. That's the next step. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Now, give me a moment. I want to check what else we can have into our pending list. Drag and drop, click and hold is one thing that I want to discuss. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So from my end, drag and drop, click and hold, right click or context click, we can say, and double click. And these four are the actions that we are going to have. So that is specifically related to the concept of actions and JavaScript. Actions and JavaScript execution that we are going to make use of it. And apart from this, assertions. One moment. Sorry, I got another call. Fine. So we are going to discuss about assertions, and then we are going to have a discussion on actions and JavaScript, and we have a discussion on data driven testing in the application point of view. And apart from this, we already discussed about GitHub, and there is no much thing involved in the GitHub. And any other things? Okay. Need to send the files, not the recordings, because it's been shared already. I'm about to send the files and the project related activity, project related stuff. So for your practice, files for practice. I have only 4 things left in my bucket. Okay, so today is 30th, maybe tomorrow, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. By 3rd or 4th, it will be done from my end. Maximum by 3rd or 4th. It will not be more than that.
Okay.
Okay. Jyoti, are you there? Jyoti,
Yes.
meanwhile, can you please get some inputs or get some feedback from them, from the candidates, and let me know?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have 4 more sessions pending from my end, and which includes interview point of view questions and everything. I'll share to the team.
Okay.
And I'll share everything to the team, and even whatever the drive link that I have, I'm going to send all those things in the drive link only. Recordings, I don't have anything, Jyoti. I already shared it to Teja and Pawan. Maybe they'll forward it to you.
Yeah, Pawan
Okay.
said he will share me by the afternoon.
Okay, fine. So I already shared it, and today's recording and everything, I'll again share it to Pawan today.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. And your assignment will be how to write the data from the Excel document using Selenium. So if you are not going to continue with the assignment, I'll continue my subject and I'll complete it. Okay, make sure you are going to complete that assignment. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
sir.
Thank